Like any red-blooded American, I played Battleship the game and cheated. It was my first experience cheating.
Yeah, I played it, yeah, with the red and white pegs.
It was one of the staples in my game inventory.
My grandfather had an old one.
What I love about Battleship is the strategy of it.
The fun of winning and the fun of hitting someone and the fun of missing and all those things that are within the game. And those memories are great.
We have an emotional connectivity to Battleship.
First of all, Battleship has been enjoyed for nearly 40 years around the world in more than 30 countries. So it is not an American brand. This is actually a global brand. And it's known as Battleship or naval battles everywhere around the world.
When we decided to do a movie based on Battleship, we decided from the outset we're going to embrace it. We wanted not only to use battleships, but also to look at the hallmarks of the game that people have loved so much and incorporate them into the movie. As in the game, our ship is blind. All our radar capability has been taken away early on in the fight with the aliens. As a result, we are hunting for them in the dark. Similarly, when we were talking about what kind of weapons the aliens should have, and one of the designers from Hasbro suggested to us using a bullet that looks like a peg.
We want it all to feel very much like the game, that it's us versus them. It just happens to be aliens this time.
The next step is, who's the perfect person to direct that?
You had to find somebody who really liked the idea of the military, but the Navy in particular.
And that brought us to Pete Berg.
For a minute, they reveal themselves. It's above, and that's the front. You're looking down at the front of it. For me, Battleship was a natural fit because my father was a naval historian, so I was exposed to naval history at a very early age. Spent a lot of time at a lot of Navy museums. But for me, my relationship with the Navy in particular started with me writing a script for hopefully my next film. And through that, I got to know a lot of folks both in the SEAL community and also the big Navy. And so we were afforded this luxury of the cooperation from the military. Peter Berg, welcome aboard. Nice to meet you. How are you? How's everybody doing today? Good. Thanks for having us on your ship. No worries. Looking forward to seeing it.
Typical Pete Berg. You know, he gets completely immersed in whatever the idea is.
Hey, what's up?
And if you give him any opportunity to get onto a Navy ship, he'll take it, you know, with alacrity.
Isn't the chair facing the wrong way? Just out of curiosity.
You've got these amazing ships. And then the backdrop, of course, is Hawaii.
There was a fair amount of scouting for this movie. Location-wise, started to drift more and more towards Pearl Harbor, which is the meat and potatoes of the film. Also, we looked at a series of ranches around here. The Kualoa Ranch is sort of the 3,000-pound gorilla on the island. Not only is it beautiful, but they're very film-friendly.
The ranch is a great place to shoot. You know, obviously other people have shot there before us, but it's got a great look. It was valuable. We definitely wanted to be there.
Oahu and Pearl Harbor, it's a place with just, obviously, a really rich history. And it was great getting to take these tours and then talk to these sailors and these officers that just, I was really, really happy to get there a couple weeks early just to delve into all of it.
We wanted to create an environment where we could do a movie about the Navy, about these magnificent ships, which people have not seen. I mean, I think they're really awe-inspiring when you go on a destroyer.
Jeff Benny, nice to meet you.
We really got an idea of the atmosphere, what it looks like, all the machines, the different decks, the different rooms in the ship, and the different people and their jobs, and it really kind of helped us to, you know, wrap our minds around that initially.
It's awesome, and a DDG just rides smooth. It's so exciting
to hear you talk about it. Like, your face just lights up.
Just to stand back and watch all the real guys do what they do best, you know? Just try to absorb and soak it in and use as much as possible.
We have a sortie of inbound potential hostiles. Need you to keep your head on a swivel. We got combat and air team fully manned.
It was really special, getting these private access tours.
Most of the time, I'm going to be in CIC, Combat Information Center, or Combat. That's where I'll fight the ship from.
Talking to the captain, going down to their CIC while they're out there. And that was really great.
The kind of rule of thumb with the Navy was if you can piggyback on an event that they're doing, they're very happy to let you be part of it.
Well, what we're doing is we're starting the process of trying to figure out just how we're going to film out at sea, which is something that conventional wisdom tells you one of the stupidest things you could possibly try and do is make a movie out at sea. This is a very stabilized boat, so we're going to take her out into the high seas. We're hoping to be able to do some ship-to-ship filming. And in the last 2 days, I've eaten 25 pounds of garlic shrimp, 18 pounds of garlic ribs, and I had about 75 pounds of garlic-crusted edamame last night. So it should be an interesting boating day. Death to all regents!
One of the big challenges of doing a movie called Battleship was how do you bring a battleship into the movie Battleship when battleships are no longer a part of any navy on this earth. We came up with a concept for how to incorporate that in using the USS Missouri, which is one of the most famous ships to have ever sailed the oceans.
The first step is we had to find it. Now we found it. Here she is, right here. She's being worked on. She's being refit, updated, made more seaworthy.
It's very rare that you will see a battleship go into dry dock. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Let me understand this in idiot terms, okay? This thing's full of water, right? They pull it in here. Those blocks are all preset down there?
You have to have every one of those 309 keel blocks aligned to where your plans, which go back to World War II in some cases, say that we have the reinforcement. And that's what our naval architects studied for months, is where exactly do we place those blocks, get the ship in exactly within an inch. They have to be, the tolerances within 1 inch. They have to be exactly in the right place or you'll damage the hull. And then adjusting the ballast in there to make sure it's perfectly level as it goes down.
What we're trying to talk the Navy into doing now is letting us take a little detour with her, where we take her, refurbished, cherried out, looking spectacular, out into the ocean.
In January, before production began in August, we were able to tow the USS Missouri off of its dock and into open water.
We're going to pump almost 500 million gallons of seawater into this dry dock here, the largest of our dry docks here at Pearl Harbor Naval Shipyard. We're going to be pulling this 55,000-ton, 887-foot-long battleship by rope. And then as soon as it reaches the entrance, as soon as it gets outside what we call the sill, then we're going to have 4 tugboats come up, snuggle up against the side of the Missouri, and escort her back to her place of honor over at Ford Island.
We've got a camera boat, and we've got an aerial unit, then we got Lucas, the handheld beast, gonna go handheld on the actual ship, so we're gonna cover it every which way. I mean, it's just one of those moments.
Production design-wise, if we're not going to be on a ship and show their bridge and we're going to build a bridge, you want to have access to their schematics and all the things so that everything on the bridge is accurate to what it would be like to be on one of those ships.
You think I just made this up?
Because we had spent a lot of time with the Navy and toured a lot of the ships, there was a pretty clear understanding of what you could physically do on a real ship and what you would have to build, you know, as a set. This is an engine room, or at least half of an engine room. It has the feel of it has the character of it, and it has all of the proper pieces of equipment. Everything that you see in here are things that are actually in an engine room.
We got real jet engines. We built them into the set. We built the whole set from scratch. We are platformed, and with the upper level, we had a graded ceiling with sort of gantry beamed panels that we dressed behind some, but without having to build that whole part.
The bridges were one of the biggest action sections in that the entire bridge needed to be on a platform that moved so that we could slant it, tilt it, make it roll with the ocean waves, etc.
Our technical advisor walked through and goes, well, it looks like you're really on the bridge. That I'm very proud of the work that our crew had done to make this actually tie in with the real ships that we were on when we built the set pieces. They look like the real ships.
In prep, there are lots of discussions, lots of photographs, lots of drawings, and there's a lot of people who have a lot to say. So you try to get as much of all of that in as you can. It's the fun part, collaboration.
There's certain projects that you just feel a filmmaker has in their blood to do. It's meant to be, and this feels like one of those for Paper.
There's something fun about trying to get the Navy involved and getting to spend time with these ships and see how awesome they are. And to get to make a film about it is kind of a dream come true for me.